We're looking at stats, and Derrick White is an on-off god, the most impactful player on the Boston Celtics. We'll talk about it right now on the Locked On Celtics podcast.
Be ever ready. Recognize the city of champs. Boston, baby, we do what you can't. Locked on number 18, Tatum and Brown, J-Team, step back. We gon' wet that and slay teams. Of course, the Celtics, who else could it be? Screaming like KG with the Larry O.B. Karalis above average, assessing the team status. Best daily pod, no cap salary matching. Clutch like Bird the DJ, Pete John on replay. Prime time, dapping up the truth on the sideline. Raining J's, how it started, raising banners, how we finished. Locked on Celtics pod, home of the winners. B.
Hey there, welcome back to the Locked On Celtics podcast, right here in the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day, and I got you every day with a free, fresh podcast that's dropped directly to your device. So subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Watch the show on YouTube. Drop some words in the comment section. Let me know what you're thinking. If you're new to the show, I'm John Karalis. I used to play a long time ago. Now I'm a beat writer covering the Celtics for Boston Sports Journal. And for you, all my coverage is for you, the loyal Celtics fan. Today's show is brought to you by PrizePicks. Daily fantasy made easy. The easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnNBA. Use the code LockedOnNBA, all lowercase. You get a first deposit match up to $100. Today's show, it's all about the interesting stats. Oh, I didn't realize that graphic was off kilter. Let me go ahead and fix that. There we go. Sorry for people who are listening on the audio. The little technical glitches on the TV part of it, the video part of it that happen from time to time. Got to produce these shows for both sides, right? Some people listen, some people watch, and I'm here for both of you. So I appreciate however it is that you listen. But if you're watching, the graphics got to look right, and so the graphic tells you it's interesting stats day. Later on, we'll talk about the turnovers the Celtics are facing. In the second segment or somewhere in that range, depending on how the first segment goes. Jaylen Brown's on-off numbers are all okay, not great. But we'll start with Derrick White. Derrick White is an on-off god. All of these numbers are courtesy of Cleaning the Glass, cleaningtheglass.com. Filters out the heaves and it filters out garbage time, so it's a little bit more kind of indicative of real performance. So any kind of garbage time, any like half court heaves, all that stuff, guys don't have to let them fly, guys, because I will use Cleaning the Glass and they won't even count that unless you hit it, I guess. So all right, Derrick White's numbers are just incredible. Absolutely incredible. And if you can see it on the graphic here on YouTube, he is a plus 17.3 on off in offensive efficiency, points per 100 possessions. So with Derrick White on the floor per 100 possessions, the Celtics are 17.3 points per game better. That is incredible. Now, all of this is still early, but you're a quarter of the way through the season. A little bit more than that, but approximately a quarter way through the season. Some of these numbers will level off, but holy crap, is Derrick White just absolutely amazing for the Boston Celtics. Plus 17.3. That is a 9.7, plus 9.7 on offense. And on defense, he is minus 7.6. So the Celtics are 9.7 points per 100 possessions better offensively, and they hold the other team to 7.5 points less defensively. That is just incredible. And more incredible is, well, you say, okay, well, there's got to be other guys here, right? Like, where's Jayson Tatum in all of this? Well, there are only 4 positives when it comes to the on-off team points scored per 100 possessions. It's Derrick White, at plus 17.3. Then Kristaps Porzingis at plus 5.7. Drew Holiday at 2.6. Tatum at 1.9. And Pritchard at 0.3. So not even slightly positive, okay? Just slightly positive. There are only 2 players who are also negative, like holding teams to less points defensively. So all of those guys who are positives, only Derrick White and Kristaps Porzingis are also part of a holding the other team down. So I said Derrick White minus 7.6, Porzingis minus 4.1. So the Porzingis plus 5.7 includes plus 1.6 offensively and minus 4.1 defensively. The Celtics are a much better team with Porzingis and Derrick White on the floor. They're a much better team, and this is, I'll stop spitting a lot of numbers at you right now and say this really confirms a lot of the eye test. This really confirms a lot of what we're seeing. In the early going, yes, Jayson Tatum has had his runs, but especially lately, Tatum's kind of been, up and down. And as far as his last, 9 or 10 games, Tatum's kind of not been the biggest positive on the floor. Derrick White has been. Derrick White has been, you look at him in that game against New York. He not only had a 30-point game, but he really just seemed to be everywhere. He seemed to be doing a lot of things. Derrick White, when we say he does all the little things, man, he is doing everything. Score when you need to, assist when you need to, does little things. One of my favorite things that he did was on a fast break, they kicked it ahead to him, and he was all alone alongside, I guess, Jayson Tatum on his left. You could have just taken one dribble, gone in for the layup, taken his points. But what does he do? He just, Jayson Tatum's right there. Here you go, Jayson. Boom. Jayson Tatum gets the points. Derrick White gets the assist. He doesn't care about the points. And you know what? Funny enough, positive things happen for him. He's out there blocking shots. He's out there making steals. He's out there setting screens. He's doing everything. And then Porzingis, you add Porzingis, and he just adds such a different dynamic to this team that he is such a bailout. He is such an easy, hey, we got nothing. Get into the post. Okay. Do your big swooping, foul grifting thing. Maybe you get a 3-point play, whatever. But he is giving the Celtics a ton. Now, offensively, a plus 1.6 for Porzingis. He's scoring when he needs to. Again, eye test. I think this confirms what we're seeing. He's not always having the big scoring nights. And Derrick White is having assist nights, secondary assist nights, hockey assist nights, potential assist nights. Porzingis, if he's not scoring, yeah, he's setting screens and doing all that other stuff. He is a positive on the floor. But the defense is where the Celtics are seeing the bigger benefit from Porzingis. Kind of wild. Like coming into the season, we were thinking like Porzingis would be a plus on offense, and we'll see what he gives us on defense. But no, he is a bigger plus on defense, and he fills in offensively when they need him to. And he seems kind of happy to do so. He's just like, yeah, I'll score, I'll rebound, whatever you need. I'm just here. Every interview, whether it's with us, me, or on JJ Redick's podcast, he's just like, yeah, man, I'll just do whatever we need. I'm just happy to come in and be part of a winner. Those two guys have been seriously the two most important players for the Celtics. You saw what happened when Porzingis was out. It didn't look great. They won some games because they're still a good team, but they look so much better with Porzingis on the floor, and they look incredibly better with Derrick White on the floor. The Derrick White numbers are still not done. There are still other numbers that prove that Derrick White is an absolute monster when it comes to on-off and impacting the Boston Celtics. But There's still the matter of Jaylen Brown's concerning numbers. We'll talk about that next. Today's show is brought to you by our good friends at PrizePicks. PrizePicks is daily fantasy made easy because it's you against the projections, right? I keep telling you this. If you've played daily fantasy, and I have, you go up against other people, generally speaking, and you it's hard to win those because so many different people with different backgrounds, and some people are just sharks, and I just want to have some fun. So PrizePicks made it fun because they give you projections, and you pick 2 to 6 players, and if you hit all 6, you can win up to 25 times your money. You pick more, you pick less. Jayson Tatum, whatever they set the projection at. You say more points than what you say or less points than what you say. It's very simple. It's very easy to do. You want to have more fun with it? Join their specials league. You can do, this is a football coming off of football Sunday. You can pick a quarterback and say his touchdown passes plus Derrick White's 3-pointers and more or less. And there you go. So that's a great way to have some fun there with PrizePicks. And they have injury insurance. So if your guy goes down in the first half and doesn't come back, that player's rebooted. So peace of mind from PrizePicks, the only daily fantasy sports platform with that kind of injury insurance policy. So go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnNBA. Use that code LockedOnNBA, all lowercase. You get a first deposit match up to $100. Whatever you deposit up to $100, they will give you that on top of that. So it's a pretty good deal. PrizePicks.com/LockedOnNBA. Use the code LockedOnNBA. PrizePicks, daily fantasy made easy. Thank you for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Go check out the coolest thing on YouTube. It's the first ever 24/7 national sports streaming channel, Locked On Sports Today. It's there all day, all night, whenever you want a sports fix. Can't figure out what to put on TV? Stream Locked On Sports Today on your TV and leave it on. It's a great way to get caught up on everything that's going on in sports with the local hosts, the local experts. So it's great. Innovation. So Derrick White, the numbers are incredible. The fact that there are only 2 players that are on-off are positives on both ends of the floor is a little bit of a concern, considering that so many guys talked about how they want to be positive contributors on defense. The Celtics defense, I think has done well, but the I guess boxing out probably will help. The offensive rebounds would probably help because the Celtics aren't the best at holding off the other team offensive rebounding wise. But the only positives defensively, and I say positive when I say positive, I mean holding the other team to less. It's White, it's Porzingis, it's Sam Hauser, amazingly, and Al Horford. There's only 4 players with on-offs that impact the defense positively. So that's, you look, Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, even Drew Holiday is not having, he's at plus 0.4. So that's not like, again, it's like Peyton Pritchard. It's basically even, but still you want to have more guys being positives on the defensive end. Derrick White, one more number, in the half court, he's a plus 9.7, which that's so, I mean, I cannot believe he's a plus 17.6 on offense, a plus 17.6 on offense, points per 100 possessions. So he is such a dynamic offensive player. The Celtics half-court defense clearly is a little bit more of a struggle, but on defense, his half-court is, well, minus 2.9, so that's good. Porzingis has the biggest impact, minus 3.4. Luke Cornett, minus 3.1. How about that? Sam Hauser, Drew Holiday are both positive impacts. Jayson Tatum, plus 7.4. The worst rotation player defensively in the half court. that says something. As I'm going to transition into Jaylen Brown, but I got to highlight Jayson Tatum too. And I'm highlighting both because both of those guys have said they want to make positive impacts defensively. I think like Tatum will block a shot. He'll get in there. He'll rebound. But I think too often he gets beat. And I think too often he just relaxes too much. And it just needs to be better. It needs to be better. They need to set the example. We need to see a little bit more out of them defensively. We just do. And so I don't want to make it seem like I'm piling on Jaylen Brown, but Jayson Tatum in the half court, the absolute worst when it comes to defense. But Jaylen Brown, his on-off is minus 7.2. That is the worst of the Celtics rotation players. Minus 7.2. Sam Hauser's minus 6.9. Luke Cornett minus 5.4. Al Horford minus 4.8. Those are the four rotation guys who are negatives right now. Now, Horford and Hauser, I think, get caught up in some of the bench, because those are, look, we're talking about bench guys now. And look at this lineup. Jaylen Brown, Hauser, Cornett, Horford. Who gets subbed in the first after Tatum leaves, right? If it's Tatum and Derrick White out, two positives, Jaylen Brown stays on the floor. You bring in Hauser, you bring in Horford. That's Luke Cornett. I'm not going to get too crazy about Luke Cornett because I don't expect a ton. Like he's just kind of like holding on and is a stopgap, and he's been fine. He's got one good half in him, I believe. And I think if he has a good half, like seriously, if he has one good half for the Celtics, he shouldn't play in the second half. Like I feel like we've seen enough where if he comes out and has this awesome monster half in the first half, then sit him in the second half because he's used all his good stuff. And that's just been the way this season has gone. If he comes in and has a terrible first half, then friggin' start him in the second half because he has one good half. So he'll take advantage of one good half, and that's it. So whatever. I'm not going too crazy about Cornett right now. I think Horford and Hauser get caught up in the bench unit stuff, and Jaylen Brown, and maybe some of this is from the beginning of the season. Again, it's still early. It's a quarter of the season through, and I'm not going to sit here and pile on and say that this is a major issue for the whole season. But at this point, with a quarter of the season gone, and for him to be a minus 7.2, a minus 4.2 offensively and defensively, the Celtics give up 3 more points per 100 possessions. That's something that is both problematic but also easy to fix, because 4 points per 100 possessions, that's just a little bit more efficiency. 3 points per 100 possessions defensively is a couple more possessions where you stay in front of your guy and you force turnovers, which I'm going to get to in a few minutes because that's a big problem. So Jaylen right now, it's a concern in the sense that you don't want to have one of your best players currently be the worst on-off guy that you have. But the number 7.2, just like Hauser's and Horford's, it's fixable. It's very fixable. 4.2 points per 100 possessions is make your free throws, Jaylen Brown. Make your free throws. He is struggling at the free throw line. He's never been the best free throw shooter, but hey, man, you gotta fix that. I don't even know. I'm going to quickly look up what his free throw percentage is because I know it's not good. Jaylen Brown is shooting 70.3% from the free throw line. For a guard who shoots well from most other places on the floor, he's got to get that shot back. And, he's only shooting 34% from three, which is a little bit below league average. But a little bit of an increase here in his efficiency, and he'll become a positive again. His effective field goal percentage this year is at 52.5%. Last year was at 55. Career, it's 54.2. Just get that up there, get it a little bit above there, and you can fix the plus minus. The efficiency on the offensive end can fix that. Get out there and get 2 more stops per game. You can fix this on-off number. But he and Jayson Tatum need to do that. It's not a major overhaul. It's not a big, huge, screaming from the rooftops, oh my God, what's going on? But find a way to be better, both Tatum and Brown. Make a couple more shots. Make a couple more free throws. Get a couple more stops on the other end. You guys will be up there higher. Jaylen Brown can fix this plus minus thing. It is a little bit of a concern. All right. The turnover thing is maybe the biggest stat that I kind of perplexing in a little bit of a way, but I don't know. We'll talk about that in just a second. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. Our good friends over there at FanDuel have a great deal for you if you want to get started. FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook, and it's hot. I know it's cold outside, but it's hot on FanDuel. The NFL is barreling down into the real meat of the season. We're starting to really get a sense of what the playoff pictures might be. So go check it out. NBA season, in-season tournament is over. We're heading into the real meat of the NBA season as well. So go check it out. Make a $5 money line bet on FanDuel, and you can get $150 in bonus bets. That's $150 if your team wins. So go check it out. Spreads, player props, over-unders, whatever you want. FanDuel has it, and all you got to do to join is go to FanDuel.com/lockedon and get started. Use their tools. Use their protection. Set your limits. You can set how much you want to bet per week. You can set all that up. I know FanDuel is an official partner of the NFL, and FanDuel will also help you gamble responsibly. Thank you so much for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Go to johnkaralis.com. Order my book, The Boston Celtics All-Time All-Stars. Get a personalized copy. I will sign whatever you want within reason. A gift for a friend, a gift for a family member for Christmas, or for any other holiday, a birthday for you if you want it. It's all there, johnkaralis.com. Click on the link to buy my book. The stats show the Boston Celtics are terrible at forcing turnovers, which was a stated goal for Joe Mazzulla heading into the season. In fact, he was asked at the last practice about the team forcing turnovers, and he jokes like, yeah, how's that going? He wants the team to force turnovers. That if you can force an extra look, I put it up on the YouTube, 12.5% opponent turnover rate, 12.5%, 28th in the NBA. So they are almost the worst team in forcing turnovers in the NBA. If you can force 3 more % turnovers, whatever that works out to be, right? So if you're saying per 100 possessions, that's a pretty easy. You're probably looking at 14 to 15 turnovers per game. If you can force 15 and you get 3 more, let's just say it's 2 to 3 more. Well, look at what it'll do to all the other plus minus numbers that I've talked about, right? Jaylen, all the guys that are negatives defensively, Force some more turnovers. You get out into transition. That's 2, 4, 6 points that the other team doesn't score. 2, 4, 6, 9 points that your team scores potentially. That's very doable. But last year and this year, the Celtics have been right near the bottom in forcing opponent turnovers. And it's tough. And Joe Mazzulla talks about this. And it's what are you best at? Where are you your best? The Celtics aren't, they're not going to be like straight rip, get in there, strip a guy, and force some turnovers. Like that's hard to do. It's hard to do in today's NBA. The physicality on the perimeter is not encouraged. It's legislated out through a ton of foul calls on the perimeter. It's hard to guard on the perimeter. So that's difficult. But the Celtics still need to find a way. Like maybe they just take a couple more chances. Maybe it's just jumping into a passing lane and relying on your help. Somebody needs to get in there and get a couple of steals. And I don't know defensively the philosophy. I guess they're not taking a ton of chances. It's about making reads and all of that. But if the Celtics can get into a passing lane here and there, then this changes. And it's not a big jump from the bottom of the league to the top of the league. You know, like the league leader in turnovers. Oh, wait, no, that's turnovers committed. So the worst team turnover-wise is committing 17.7. That's the Utah Jazz. In the middle of the pack, where Boston kind of is, you're looking at teams averaging about 14, 15 turnovers a game. So the Celtics, if they can get to that point, then they can look at extra points on the board, better point differentials, easier wins. Let me see the opponent turnovers. The Thunder are forcing 16.9. The Celtics are forcing 12.2. So there's your 12.5%. The middle of the pack is 14.1. That's the Minnesota Timberwolves. So 2 more turnovers per game. That's not a lot. Is it too much to ask to commit to force 2 more turnovers per game? Can the Celtics not force 2 more turnovers per game? This defensive team, just middle of the pack. You want to get into the top 10, you got to get to like 15. 3 turnovers per game. Can you force something like that? We'll say 2.5. So a couple of games 2, a couple of games 3. How is that not possible for the Celtics? How can you not get 2 more steals, 2 more passes thrown out of bounds, a 24-second violation? How can you not get that with the level of defense that this team is playing? The Celtics have a pretty good defense. Their defensive rating is 3rd in the league at 109. Their net rating is best in the league at 8.5. So you can sit there and be like, well, you're nitpicking a lot of stats for the team with the best net rating in the league. Third best defense, 6th best offense. It's like, what more do you want? Well, gearing towards like perfection. And it's not even perfection. What's wrong with wanting 2 more turnovers per game? I don't want 8 more. Just 2 more. You're forcing 12. Get to 14. Get to 15. How hard is that? Maybe a couple of those instances where you're just getting flat out beat. You're back. You're paying attention. You're helping. You know what I mean? Like, that's And I know sometimes it's not just turnovers. It's like block shots, empty possessions, and it doesn't matter, right? Like as long as you're getting the empty possessions, whether it's a turnover or a missed shot or a block shot or whatever it is, that part doesn't matter. But I still think there's room for the Celtics to improve there. And this is the thing. The Celtics are the best team in the league, and look at how much room there is to improve. And it's not, like I said with Jaylen, I'm not asking for a ton. I'm really not. I'm asking for a couple of possessions on defense, a couple of possessions on offense. That's all it takes. The difference between Jaylen being a -7, whatever, to a plus is a couple of possessions. Just a couple of defensive stops, a couple of finishes on offense. And it doesn't even have to be with him. He can just a little better ball movement. And he has been getting better at that. The Celtics just a little bit tighter defensively, a little bit more focused defensively. You force a couple of turnovers, then you get out into transition, and that'll help Jaylen Brown, right? That'll help Jaylen get his plus minus up. That'll help some of these guys get their on off up. It's simple. The Celtics are the best team. They could be an even better team, which is scary. It's scary. They are projected, their expected wins on cleaning the glass is 62. So that's an even better season than any of us expected. And they could be even better than they are right now. A couple of possessions here or there. And a lot more Derrick White, because Derrick White is a god. I mean, he is just amazing. They probably should have gotten a deal done for him. They probably should have gotten an extension done for Derrick White. Yeah. So thanks for listening. That's, Monday show. Celtics were off this weekend. Not a ton to talk about. I thought these stats, though, were interesting. So hope you enjoyed the show, the look at the stats. Maybe they confirm what you were thinking. Maybe they don't. Tell me what you think in the comment section on YouTube. That's the best way to have your voice heard. And if you are with me every day, an everydayer, I love the fact that you're an everydayer. I love all the people that come say hi to me at the games and tell me that they're everydayers. So the next thing I would want, make it my Christmas gift. Spread the word. Share the podcast. Tell everybody that they should be listening to and watching the Locked On Celtics podcast right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day.